Hello, everybody. Hello, Rachel.
Hi, Becky. Hi. How are you? It's so lovely to be with you.
It's so lovely to be with you here too. Thank you. Hi, everyone. So you heard Rachel. She said, my name's Becky. I'm Becky Vaness. And I am an access consciousness facilitator. And I have the amazing Rachael O'Brien, which she also is an access conscious facilitator. And well, she's so much more. But we're talking here about Joy of Business today, and she is a Joy of Business facilitator. So what we're talking about, a really fun topic today that I love is, how's your business doing? What a great question, right? Especially with nowadays and all the change that's going on. But, I also love to say there's always a lot of change going on. So this video is perfect timing. And anyway, and if you're watching this and you're saying, I don't have a business. Well, the amazing Simone Milasas, the founder of Joy Business, says, what if business is the adventure of living? So if you guys are living, you have a business. Rachel, can you tell me, how's your business doing right now?
Well, if today is indicative of it, I started out with an energy pull at 8:30 this morning, and then we had an X-Men intro class with a couple of new people from one from Argentina. Oh my goodness, it's
worldwide.
And then a foundation tonight with people from, first time I've had people from California and San Francisco, and someone from Texas and Belgium, Turkey. So when you say, how's my business going, I think it's kind of funny in that sometimes I have to pinch myself and go, I'm actually a Joy business facilitator. Yeah. Like I'm actually being this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have to say, Simone Milasas, I love you, by the way. I love her. She saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, and she nurtured that, and she saw it when I didn't, and that allowed me to have like a confidence in myself to sink into that support and to grow. Wow. And really what Joy Business is for me is a platform where JCFs support people to grow, step into their talents, their abilities that they don't even recognize they have, because they have this weird point of view that business is,
something
else, that they're not.
They're not, that.
The main thing, that whatever that is, I'm not that. So, Wow. So the reference points to what business is a big, I would say, limitation and a wall that stops people from having fun and being business, the natural ability and capacity to create. And, Becky, I am so honored to be part of a movement. Like when I became a JCF, I was like, I'm going to do this for 15 years. And then I can actually then I can quit after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was, I think, more of a coming together with myself and coming to trust that I could be this, that I could do this. And then, of course, it's evolved over time. So first thing that I would like to say is that to be part of a movement where your life is your business and your business is your life. Like, what? What are you talking about? My life is my business. I wake up in the morning and everything in my life either adds to the living of my life. And for me, there's nothing lights me up than to see someone come out of self-judgment about what they should do or be in regard to business. And I see the most creative, phenomenal people that function from speed really step into recognizing what's right about me that I'm not getting. And they actually start to go when they're in an environment where there's no judgment, where there's total space, and there's a trusting in the energy of what you would like to create in the world.
Well, you know what I have to say, though, too? So thank you for this. Because when I'm like, well, so how's your business doing? Well, your business is your life, and like you're
Mhm.
living. Like,
Yes.
well, I'm just going off of what you've just, like the magic that you just created with what you just said. So thank you. Right? Like, yeah. God.
And the other thing is, it probably we don't talk about this as much as we should be. It actually is a magical experience. This is
Yeah.
actually joy business is based on ask and you shall receive. Huh? What do you mean? Ask, okay, I would like to have a life and living that's an adventure. What would that be like for me? What is that energy of that living? What are the components that can bring that about? Who do I have to talk to? Where do I have to be? What is it that inspires me? Who would I like to become in regard to business? What kind of person would I like to become in the world?
Wow. Well, it's funny because my next question for you is what's your favorite Joy of Business tool that you could share with everybody? But I think you just gave us a couple good ones.
Oh my God, there are so many. Oh my goodness, where do I start? Your point of view creates your reality.
Can you give us an example?
Yeah,
Say somebody's watching this that's never.
seeing your point.
Yeah.
So there's a class called Access Business and Money, and for someone who has really, I would say, a reach to have a greater life, one of the questions in it is, what's your underlying point of view creating your life right now? Okay. So one of the things with joy business is you start to get brutally honest that everything showing up in your life is your creation. Everything. So there's nowhere to hide. It's like, actually, I'm going to take full responsibility for my life right now. And be it that I might have created it from unconscious points of views, which means that you've points of views you might have inherited, bought, adopted from your family, from your culture, that are actually creating your life. And then when you apply consciousness, which is being present with everything, not rejecting it, not reacting to it, having the awareness and willing for something to be greater, you sit there with these viewpoints and you go, wow, okay, what point of view is creating this? And now what choices have I available to me? So there's a continuous reach to be present with the points of views that you've inherited, that you've bought, that you've adopted, that are actually creating your relationship with business and money.
Wow. That's amazing. You're blowing me away. So thank you for your magic. I'm like, oh. So Rachel, when you are facilitating the Joy of Business classes, which one of them, like you have a class coming up too, well, if they're watching this in the future or whatever, you always have classes coming up, but you recently have a class coming up, and it's called A Business Done Different. Mm-hmm. So looking at when you facilitate these Business Done Different class, what is the one question participants, who's in your class like to ask you the most? Like, what do you think, like the biggest question in that class that comes up for you?
How do I get it right?
Yeah. Oh, that was quick.
It is. It's the most prevalent point of view. We live with a group of people on a planet where we continuously have to prove our worth and improve our value, and we have to get it right and tick the boxes to prove how much we charge. But Joy Business actually has, like, it takes a full 360 on this, and it says, no, this is not about proving. This is about what would I like to generate. And proving always puts you into doing, puts you into cognitive, puts you into getting it right, ticking the boxes. Generating puts you into a different space where you're looking at business done from contribution. And that's the first line, actually, when you start Business Done Different. Businesses from contribution. Now, what does that mean? People go, huh? Business contribution?
What do you mean? Yeah.
Well, if you go back to, go back years ago, I grew up in Ireland, like, if the family were looking to have a table, it was made from the wood, from the trees, and the table, and the energy of the craftsman crafted the table to care for the family. So his energy and his craftsmanship and his abilities and his talents were able to provide this, and then he was paid for his work. So actually the essence and the true source of business has always been from contribution, but somewhere after the Industrial Revolution, it got corrupted to give and take, and what I must give you to get this. And joy business is functioning from the space of, you have a product, you have a service. Are you proud of what you be? Are you proud of what you do? Are you willing to come together with your business and deliver your product, your service, whatever that may be, from the place of you add value to someone else's life, and their life becomes greater as a result of using your product service?
I'll have that. I'll have that. That was one of my favorite questions, Elsa. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
I know.
And this is easy. Like, honestly, when we're 10 minutes into class and I read that line as all business is contribution, people go, I can do that. No, I can actually add my energy to someone's life and it can become greater. That I know I can do.
Yeah. I could do that. That's why I was like, yes, I'll have that and more of that.
Yeah. And that's how you function. But someone might have never had put that in words for you.
You're right. And you have, like, you put it in such a unique way. Like, I just heard it differently. So, you're such a gift. Thank you.
Thank you. And that's another thing. That's another thing that's big, Becky. You've got to be willing to receive that what you bring to people is a gift.
Yeah.
Because gifting and receiving is, I will contribute my energy to your life getting greater, and I'll be thrilled for the people who pay me. I will contribute no matter what, though.
Yeah. Brilliant. Gosh, it's so brilliant. Well, I have one more question for you, Rachael. This is a fun one. I love this. So what is, like, the biggest, oh my gosh, moment from the participants in your class with the tool in the JOB classes that you facilitate? Like, when they hear it, they're just like,
I'm going to answer this a different way. Okay. So the biggest feedback I get from people after doing this, so that you come in 3 days and the layers of the judgments, the lies. So the biggest thing is that any word you cannot create from a lie. And people go, huh? But for the thing about it is, there's some truth that you're not willing to receive about you when you have a lie in your world. I'm not good enough. I'm not enough. And my product isn't good enough. So one of the biggest feedbacks we get after the 3 days is that I actually wasn't willing to receive the ease of creation and business that I knew was possible. I was still fighting to the death sometimes for that business is difficult, and I wanted to be right about my point of view. And this is how come I didn't choose this class.
Wow.
Every time I wasn't willing to receive the ease that was available with the creation of business. Every time.
Life can be easy and business can be easy.
Like honestly, I was just talking to someone who left my apartment. She was in the foundation. And she was like, what is it like that I did not want to receive this level of ease that's available when you take these classes? And I'm like, we're programmed for millions of years or billions to become less, to go for the limitation, not to reach for the possibilities. So I know people look at me and they go, she doesn't do business. What? Because I'm not serious and I don't like get frustrated or, pretend that it's tough. Of course, I'm not saying I don't have my challenges. I do have challenges. My biggest challenge is when I'm trying to control stuff. Really, it's my points of views are my biggest challenge, not the generation and creation of business. So this piece of, like, we live in a world that values stress, that values proving, that values, show me how busy you are by how important you are. Like, we live with it, not in a world or an earth, but a group of people that do not actually value ease and relaxation with the creation of business.
Yeah.
And do you ever actually create more when you're all stressed?
No, never.
Funny, isn't it? It's hilarious. Like, everything is the opposite of what it appears to be.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you so much for this.
You're so welcome, and thanks for asking the questions. And if you're watching this, one of Simone's targets, and all the Joy Business Facilitators coming behind her with this, because she's the flame for Joy Business. She lit that flame whereby she said, hang on a second, you don't have to do something that you hate. You actually can create money doing what you love. It's not a fantasy. It's not a wish. You can actually create this. And her point of view is anyone can do business. And I'll add to that, if they're giving the tools and the manual that allows them the information that they require to create that.
Wow.
And that's the target of Joy Business. Nobody has to have a money problem, and anyone can do business if they're willing.
That's amazing. And I know that you have some classes coming up, so we'll put the link also in with them. We talked about the Business Done Different, which is a 2.5 day, and then there's so much more. So Rachael, you're such an invitation to this energy and such a contribution to all of this, and so we'll give everybody some more information.
Totally. And I would just like to say, all it takes is one person to recognize your abilities and capacities, and that opens the door and you can just go. But what if you're that person for yourself?
Yeah. What if you were that person for yourself? Oh, that's awesome. So thank you.
Thanks for being here with me. Thanks so much. Thanks. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you.
We're so grateful for you. Well, thank you. And then we'll see you guys again soon.
Bye.